Yeah. All right, good. Awesome.
Yes,
So
sir.
thanks everyone for joining in. My name is Mayank Grover. I'm founder of Outscale, and I have Shubham and Satnam with us today. They're also part of the Outscale team. Shubham is on the tech team. He's been a game developer for a few years, and he's been helping grow Outscale on the tech side, and Satnam has been helping them the admissions. So most of you might have already either interacted with Satnam because he's more sort of external student facing kind of person. You might have had a chat with him or might have interacted with him over WhatsApp, etc. But this might be a sort of first time interacting with me or Shubham next as well. So thanks for joining in for this sort of specific kind of a workshop / trial thing. This is something new that we started doing recently, and the idea is to do a sort of a week-long workshop and give folks exposure to what game development is all about, helping sort of balance out, both the technical as well as sort of the career aspects of game development, since game development is a very relatively new field. It's majority people don't understand what kind of career opportunities they can build in this field. They're very passionate about building games, but don't really have a good, strong connection on the industry. So our sort of this initiative at Outscale is to bridge sort of that gap and bring in understanding of what game development as an industry has to offer, and think about whether long term can you build a career out of it or not, and whether it's a right career for you as well or not, right? So during this workshop, we'll have sort of 3 to 4 different live sessions spread across the next 6 to 7 days. And you'll get a chance to start with building your first sort of a 2D game. We'll be using the Unity game engine, and even if you have no sort of prior coding knowledge, it shouldn't matter. If you follow along the instructions, Shubham is fairly helpful in terms of answering all the questions, etc. when it comes to tech stuff, whether it's coding in C#, whether it's the Unity game engine, how to set up animations and things like that. And also, I think Satnam can probably share a link in the chat regarding our Discord community that also you guys can join in and ask questions. Once the sessions are over, if you're facing any challenges, you can use the Discord community to join in and ask any kind of doubts. A lot of the other game developers from India and from US are pretty much there. So yeah. Okay, yeah, awesome. I see Shivam just pasted the Discord link in the chat as well. I've been in the game industry for 8-9 years now, worked both in India and US. So if anybody has any questions, I'll just be here for another 10 minutes or so. I'll hand the mic over to Shubham. But if anybody has any broad level questions regarding industry, academia, game development as a career, could be anything, feel free to ask, and just put your question in the chat. I'll be happy to answer them out for you. Yep. Okay. Satnam ji just shared the link, which has a bunch of links, so anybody can focus, just look around and see what they might like, etc. Some free courses, etc. as well. Hashcode, I'm not sure. Dark Heart, what do you mean by hashcode? If you can probably specify, I can probably answer if that is even a question. Anyone, any questions? And I can actually, yeah, so you guys will be able to unmute yourself. I just changed the settings. Feel free to unmute if anybody has any questions. Has anybody done any kind of game development before? You just raise your hand, or nope.
No.
Okay. Does anybody know about any game engines such as Unity, Unreal? Anyone? Or have you heard of these kind of terms? Yeah, Unity game engine, Unreal game engine, maybe some C++ based game engines, other ones.
Yes, so I'm already learning Unity.
Okay. What kind of games have you worked on in Unity, Satya?
I didn't work any game, but I'm just learning UI for Unity.
Got it. Okay, cool. So you're working with just setting up UIs, etc. Was this some kind of a college project, hobby project?
No, it's just hobby.
Oh, okay. Okay. Awesome. Um, Hobbies are great, especially game
And
development, right? Uh,
so game development jobs is really less, or it's just a myth.
so less is subjective depending on what do you compare it to, right?
Okay.
If you compare it to biotechnical jobs, there are much more. If you compare it to web development jobs, there are less. But I think one thing that people usually miss out in the whole job ratio is how many people are there who are applying for a specific job to how many jobs are there. So instead of looking at how many total number of jobs are there, look at how many jobs are there divided by how many people are applying for those jobs. So if you look at
Right.
web
In
development,
comparison, yes,
it's
yes.
all it's all comparison, right?
Yeah,
So people think that, oh, there are so many jobs with web development but not enough with game development. There are two things to remember. The number of people applying for web development jobs are 1,000 times more than qualified game development professionals, right? So the odds of success, if you're good at either of them, the odds of success are really high in game development versus web, because there are a lot more good web developers as well, but there are not enough game developers, right? And the other thing that you want to remember, and this is true no matter where you go, you only need one job at the end of the day. Like if
exactly.
the LinkedIn statistics says 10,000 jobs available, why do you give a shit about 10,000 jobs, right? Like you just need one good job with a good company to start your career, right? So just focus on that one and just make sure that that's the priority. People get distracted by these fancy numbers, especially on like LinkedIn and such. So you shouldn't worry about that too much. Hopefully that
If
answers your
we
question.
compare, yes, if we compare about supply, that how many people are looking for
Hmm.
jobs and number of jobs in
Yep.
comparison of people and number of jobs in game development,
Yep.
then what you can say?
I'll say that there are less number of people who are qualified and a lot
Okay.
more number of jobs even now, because so I don't know if you guys know about it or not, but Outscale does professional game development, and we help students get placed directly with companies. So um, the main advantage that we see is that we directly partner with both colleges and societies on one side, and we partner with companies on the other side. Companies are coming to us because they want to hire 8, 8, 10, 10 developers and actually offer them really good CTCs for a starting position. Problem is they're not able to find enough good developers. Our batches are so small that we usually have hardly 15 people per batch, because we are getting such less qualified people who are fit to be in this industry. It's a creative industry. If you're just doing it for the fuck sake of getting a decent CTC, you're not going to succeed. You really need to be passionate about it. You should feel excitement for both, not just building games but playing games as well, right? And that is where it's different than compared to web development or data sciences, etc., where you don't need passion for building websites, right? You can be you can just shut off your mind and just follow the standard protocol and build good websites. But game development is very creative. So unless you feel really excited about it, usually people don't excel when it comes to game development. So I've seen the people that do really, really well are the ones that play games, that feel excited about playing games, and that they have creative energy to build games as well. Those will 100% exceed and excel in this industry. That I've seen. And that's not just India. I've worked in San Francisco with EA and Dana and Kixeye and bunch of companies in SF and California, and it's exactly the same scenario there and here. Creative people will always succeed in this industry, right? Uh,
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
yep, no
sir.
worries.
As I know, it's a 2019 base institute. So I would like to ask, as I have done my 11th or 12th as a CS computer science. So,
Mm-hmm.
but I have done, or I haven't read a single word about programming after my 12th.
Mm-hmm.
So, how many persons you have been selected
Mm-hmm.
for, or और कितने सारे लोग जो हैं कंपनियों से जो प्रोग्रामिंग के बैकग्राउंड से नहीं है, आप 2019 से अब तक हायर करवा चुके हो? That's my question.
So what I'll tell you is, the main question revolves around, can I succeed if I'm not from a computer science background, right? Success can mean different things for different people. I'll give you an example of one of the students that recently graduated. He had 5 years of experience in the game industry, and he still joined the program because he was an artist and not a developer. He did not have a computer science background. He did not have an engineering background. He had an art degree, and he is a 2014 pass out, I think. And since the last 5 years, he joined in 2019. Since the last 5 years, he was working as a 2D, 3D artist in bunch of game companies. But his career after those 4-5 years was getting stagnant. He was not getting growth. He was not able to get promotions, etc., because art has a little bit of a saturation level. So after that, he completely switched over. It's not easy. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to fool you that it's easy and anybody can do it. It will require a certain amount of dedication and commitment. But now he's actually working contractually for a company in US. And he started from zero. When he joined in, he did not, and I personally interviewed him. That's why I remember. So my point here is that the reason why I'm not just saying that these many people got jobs is because for him, he did not wanted a full-time job. He wanted to expand his experience working with companies internationally. He has already worked with a bunch of companies in India, right? So for him, the success at the end of the program was that I want exposure internationally. And I think he's working with some company in US right now, or Canada, I forgot which one. And he's doing part-time freelance kind of work, not a full-time. And he's happy doing it, right? As a developer, mind you, after 5 years of doing art. So depends on how you define success, whether success means getting a stable job with an Indian company in Pune, somebody, if he has that as a definition of success, he had that definition of success, right? So there are successes around that. We've had people who are working at EA in Hyderabad, Electronic Arts in Hyderabad, but were part of the quality engineering team or quality assurance team, so QA. So they do a lot of manual testing for games, and they applied for the program as well. And they went in and right now are doing the program. So there are examples of these people as well, but it will be hard. Is if you're passionate and motivated, our job is to make sure that you have the right support, right industry mentors, right people to give you feedback so that you are able to learn quickly and get to that stage where now you're able to present yourself in front of companies. That's the goal, right? I'm not going to do the hard work for you. And at the end of the day, you will have to do it. Let me be absolutely clear about that. And if you end up joining the program and you're not doing the hard work, you're going to get shit out of me as well, right? Like you'll be tired, like, Mayank, stop pinging my ass. I'm doing it. But if you do it, you will succeed. That's for sure. Because the ratio that I earlier talked about, it's completely fucked up. There are companies looking to hire 10, 12 people because gaming industry is going through a massive boom. They're just not finding any developers whatsoever, right? So that equation of ratio is completely fucked up in the industry right now. Hopefully that gives you some clarity on that question. I have time for one more question I can take if anybody wants to go for it. Nope. Okay, cool. Shubham, you want to quickly just introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Shubham. I'll be taking your 3 live classes from now on. Plus, I'm actually working at Outcare as a, as an instructional designer. Then, I'm also creating content. So I'm actually working in many fields. I'm also mentoring a few students. Then after that, I also engage with students. So majorly content is my piece and also the student engagement, right? So today I'll be, working with you as a Unity developer and a mentor. So I'll be happy to take on that role.
Perfect. Sure. Why don't I see you? Oh, okay. I think your video is not there, right?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. So any other questions? Satnam, is there anything on? Okay, wait, I think Satnam is here. Nope. Okay, Satnam, I think dropped off the call. So if there's anything, guys, Shubham has already shared the Discord community link, and Satnam had shared the Linktree link, which has all the links that you might need. So feel free to jump into Discord, ask as many questions as you can. At the end of the day, my goal when I started Outscale 2 years back was to build exposure about this game development as an industry and what all things it has to offer on a global level. So we've been doing this for the last 2 years now, and hopefully we'll continue to do this more and more and bring more people awareness about the kind of careers that exist. So happy to have you guys here today. Hope you'll sort of enjoy your journey for the next 1 week on this workshop, and hopefully you will learn something out of it. If anybody is excited to continue it further and go deeper into these full-fledged projects that we do as part of the 6 months industry ready job placement program that we have, feel free to get in touch with Shubham or Satnamji on Discord, and they can guide you for the next steps as well. Right? Awesome, guys. Look forward to interacting with you guys on Discord as well. And now I'll hand it over to Shubham. Okay. Cool, Shubham. I'll make you Shubham host so that you have access to all the things. All right, cool, guys. All right, take care. Bye.
Okay, guys. So I'll just screen share, okay, and I'll show you how to download Unity and set it up. First, I think so. This is the first time all of you are working in Unity, right? Is it so? Am I right on that?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you all to interact with me. Without interaction, okay, the class won't proceed further, right? So majorly, first things first, before even downloading Unity. So why I'm picking up Unity, right? So we have many game engines in the market. So if I search game engine, right? So you can see there are many game engine in the market. Now you'll ask me, what is a game engine? Do you have any idea what is a game engine? Any of you, just put up your hands and then we'll, discuss what is a game engine. So give me the wrong answer, but give me the answer. That is one thing I want from you. Okay. Just put up your hand. Put up your hand. If you speak together like 2-3 people, no, it won't work that way.
How can
Right. So we'll do it in a systematic way. So yeah, Bobby Pal, first up is you. Speak up.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Game engine helps to help us to run the games programs on that platform.
Okay. Cool. So that is a basic definition, layman one. Works well. Yes. Kalpesh, would you like to try?
Yes, sir. Game engine is a game architecture, game framework, like
Okay,
software
great.
development environment designed for people build video games.
Yep, it is more a technical definition. Yes, that is also true. So
Yes.
then we have Akash. I think so. He also put up his hand. So Akash, what's your take on the game engine?
Yes, sir. It's like a compiler for the code we written to compile game.
Okay, cool. So if I say simply, okay, so game development is actually, merging many fields in one, right? If you talk about computer graphics, have you all played Mario? Yes or no? सबने Mario खेला यहाँ पे? So have you all played Mario?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we have Photoshop made easy here also. So he wants to speak up. So that is why I told you to rename Photoshop. So you put up your hand. So do you want to communicate anything? Hello. Just unmute yourself if you want to say anything.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yup, I can hear you.
Yeah, you asked the reason why Unity is preferred in game development.
Yeah, I'll teach you why Unity is preferred in game development. But first,
can I say that?
Yup, just say that.
Because it's popular. Unity is popular in game development.
Yes, that is true. It is very popular in game development scenario. But there is one more reason apart from it.
Has got many tutorials in Udemy.
Yep, that is one more reason. There is one more reason apart from that. So we'll touch base on that. But before that, guys, we were actually discussing what is a game engine, right? So earlier, if you wanted to make a game, right, it was really difficult. Reason being, what happened is earlier, if you think about, right, so you had to take care of the graphics. If you see Mario, the player is actually nothing but a picture or a sprite, right? Then you have sounds, you have to play sounds, right? If Mario hits on some boxes, there is a different sound. If you think about when Mario collects star, there is a different sound. Then you also have to code in how will Mario move on a button press. The Mario will go left or right. So majorly it's a amalgam of many things, right? So majorly what game engine does, it is actually a package containing everything in a single go, right? It is actually an environment in which you can go in and just make a game, right? So I'll show you what I mean by this. That is what a game engine is. So now we are clear with the basics. So we'll move on to the next question. That was why I chose Unity as a game engine, right? So I chose Unity as a game engine. The reason is that it is actually most beginner friendly, right? If I would have picked up Unreal Engine, right? We have Unreal Engine here also, right? Then we have Godot. Then we have, this Amazon Lumberyard. We have many game engines, right? So I picked up Unity. Reason being, it is actually, as Photoshop made easy said. So I don't know why isn't he renaming himself. Maybe it's some kind of brand thing. I don't understand. So yep. So majorly, as he said, so Unity is actually very popular in the industry. The reason is it is easy to use, right? If you want to make, just imagine if I want to make a game really fast, I can use Unity and make a prototype at blazing fast speeds. Okay, and it also supports like 27 other platforms. Make a game in Unity, port it to 27 other platforms. So I think there is a question. Yep. So you raised your hand, so ask the question. Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. If there is if there is any doubt up until now, you can ask me. Otherwise, we'll move on ahead. So I see one hand is raised up. Photoshop made easy. What's your doubt?
Oh, sir, I didn't raise my hand now.
Okay, so just lower your hand and change your name. Right, I want to see a real name. So this kind of is weird. I have to always call Photoshop made easy. So it is weird, right? So going, okay, so I'll be checking up this. Okay, so the chat is good. So let me share up my screen and I'll teach you how to download Unity, right? So what you have to do is simply go on to Google and write download Unity and you are good to go. Click on the first link, right? And then click on this, download Unity Hub. Once you download Unity Hub, actually I already have a Unity Hub with me, right? So if I just again download it really fast. So if I open the folder, can you see my screen? I just opened up my folder.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep. So let me open up the folder. You still can. Okay. So I think so now you can't. So if you see, I have something which is called Unity Hub setup. So if I double click it, okay. If I double click it, let me share up my screen again. You will see something like this, right? Something like this. If you say yes on that, okay. Then a general setup would open up like this one. If you can see the setup, then you click on I agree, next, and it will actually install everything for you.
We are unable to actually. Your screen was not visual, sir.
Yeah, actually it wasn't visible for a second there. There is a reason to that. Okay, I'll tell you what's the reason. Just give me a second. So let me get back to the desktop. Yup, now it should be visible. Just give me a second. So are you able to see it now?
No.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So for some reason, I'm not able to share it. Just give me a sec. Yup. So now are you able to see my screen? Are you able to see Unity?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Let me resume the share. So I don't know why is it not resuming. Just give me a second. Let me stop the share and let me share it again. Is it visible now? The screen share?
No,
No.
sir.
No, sir.
Here is written that the Shivam Sharma is sharing the screen only.
Okay, let me just go in and change the setting. Okay, so okay, enable meeting. Okay, cool. So I have changed the setting. So now you must be able to see my screen.
No, sir.
So I don't know why it is not letting me share. So just give me a second. Let me see. Let me check out the settings again. So stop live stream. So it has a technical glitch in it. So mute. Yeah. If I allow everyone to share the screen, works well. Yeah. Only one participant. Yes, advanced. Okay, so all settings are apparently right, set up right. So for some reason, it is actually going in and pausing my screen share for some weird reason. Uh, so just give me a second. Let me fix it up.
Yes.
So if you have any doubts up until then, you can ask. So if it doesn't screen share, then I wouldn't be able to take the class today. Reason is without showing you the practical thing, the class would be very boring. Yeah.
Sir, Unity is it's a paid software.
No, it is free. Actually, it is free. So
The
remote.
sir, the procedure which you told us, it is the same for the MacBook Pro.
Yep, it is actually same for the MacBook Pro. So there is one more step. I am actually I wanted to tell you, and it is
Actually,
actually
actually
bugging up.
the app was preferring 2019 version, but I downloaded 2020.
Don't download 2020. Reason is there is a difference between the two versions, right? So I'm sorry. So majorly only download the LTS version. Okay. Uh, so if I tell you what is okay, so okay, if I tell you what is LTS version, right? It is called as long-term support, right? So long-term support version should be downloaded. Why? Because it has almost no bugs in it, right? Uh, so, so apparently I have no success, right? So I am trying to reshare the screen again and again, but for some reason it is pausing again and again.
I think you should leave and then again join, sir.
Yeah, then I need to make someone the host, right? So I need to call someone from my team. If you'll just give me a few seconds, I'll have to make
Okay,
a
sir.
call,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay. So just give me a second. I'm sorry for this. Okay, so I called in someone from my team. Apparently, I have to leave and join in again. So that is a glitch which is happening with it. With Zoom, I have actually checked all the settings and it is not working. So this might be that I am live streaming, custom and also recording. So it might be taking up a lot of load, and that is why it is not sharing.
Hello.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
How can I help?
So I think I need to make you the host, leave and join in again. The Zoom is glitching. For some reason, I am not able to share my screen.
Okay. Make me the host and I'll try to share it first and you can rejoin meanwhile.
Sure.
Okay. So we have around 21 participants today.
I joined in again. Hello, Piyush, you there? So I have joined in again. Are you able to share your screen?
I haven't checked. Just let me try once.
Sure, just give it a try. So, yeah, when the screen sharing has started, it glitched out for me, right? So,
Okay.
it is saying Outscale Dev has started the screen sharing, right?
I can see it has started screen share for me. So I'll make you the host back.
Okay.
Uh,
Just stay for some time,
yeah.
like 4 or 5 minutes. If it works well, then you can just bounce off. Right, let me change my name. So sorry guys, you have to go through that. But it happens rarely and it only happens when we are taking live classes. All right. Okay, so I'm the host. Let me share up my screen. So it shouldn't glitch anymore. So are you able to see my screen, everyone?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, now it's working well. Yep. Cool. So majorly this is Unity. Okay, once you want to download it, I'll again stop the share. I'll show you how to download it, right? So let me get back to my desktop and then again screen share so that I can tell you how to download Unity, right? So, yeah. So I have again screen shared it. So I need to change, screen share again and again. So yeah, you can see this is actually Unity Hub, right? What I downloaded was this. This is Unity Hub. So you need to actually log in, create a login credential. So this is my login credential right here. Okay, so I have already logged in. So once you log in, I have been working on these projects. So majorly these are all my projects, but you can create your own new project. So today we won't be, touching up on any code at all. There is a reason for that. I'll tell you what is the reason. So today we'll just learn the basics, right? Then what you have to do when you open up this Unity Hub, go to installs. You can see I have many versions here, right? If I want to add a new version inside of Unity, so what I can do is, uh, yep, if I want to, mm, cool. If I want to add in a new version, what I'll do is I'll click on add, right? And then what I'll do is I have these option of all these versions. If you see, this is Unity 2021.1.0 B1 beta. So never download beta, never download any any version without an LTS, right? So I'm using 2018.4.30 F1 LTS for today's project, but you can use 2019.4.17 F1. So whatever you like, you can use LTS, but it must be LTS. One more thing to consider here, the things that you made in 2018 are sure to work in 2019, but the 2019 projects won't work in 2018, right? Just remember this thing, right? If you select a version and click next, it will actually start installing, right? So majorly, if I go back to the projects, if you want to create a new project, there is a way to create that too. Click on new, right? Click on new, select the version of the project. Just imagine this is the version of the project I want to create the project in. Then you select 2D and change the name of the project and then create. Okay. So that is actually the way. So if there is any problem up until now, you can let me know. Otherwise, I am going in Unity, right?
Can you repeat, sir, for new projects?
Yep, I can repeat for new projects. If I reshare my screen, you can see here we have a new option, right? Once you have downloaded a Unity version, right? You have downloaded a Unity from here. Then go to the projects, click on this new and select a version here, right? Then after selecting a Unity version, select 2D and name a new project, right? So that's majorly it. So, and then click on create obviously, and it will open up Unity. Okay. So is it clear to all of you, or is there any more doubts, guys?
No questions.
Okay, cool. So we'll move on ahead, and once you open up Unity, you will see something like this. Okay, so we have scenes, different scenes in Unity, right? First, I'll tell you what a scene is. So scene is basically different level. For example, if you have played Mario, right? So you have different levels. So there is a level where you start, then different levels. So what you will see an empty scene. So right now I created this demo. So till the end of the class today, you all will be able to do something like this, right? So I have actually bouncing this object onto these two other game objects, right? So today we'll do this till the end. Plus we'll also create an animation, right? If the time permits, we'll create an animation. Otherwise, we'll create an animation in the next class. Okay. So what we'll do today, first I'll create a new scene so that I can show you how actually a Unity basic scene looks like. Okay. So usually when you open up Unity, you will see something like this, right? Which is a new scene that would be opened up, right? So if you see this says in the title bar, new scene.unity, right? So it says on which scene are you on, right? I have a few scenes. So there was another scene that I created that is something like this, okay? So this I pre-created. I have many other scenes for, different levels. So if I go back to my scene, right? I created the scene in the folder called as live session inside the scenes, right? So if I double click, I can open up a scene, right? So if I give you an overview of all of Unity, you can see we have a menu bar here. So you can click on file and click on new scene, and you will get a new scene. Okay. So other than that, you have edit assets and many other options that we won't be using right now. So other than that, if you see, we have a hierarchy here. So everything which is in the gaming world, if you see, this is a scene, right? It says a scene view. So this scene view is actually a game world. Okay. So this is a different world. This has a bit of different coordinates, right? So this is actually the scene view, right? So this is where you can edit and view the game, right? You can view the game contents as a whole, but this is actually the game view, right? So there is a difference between the two. So the game view is nothing but what the camera sees. You can see you will always get a main camera already present inside the hierarchy, right? Hierarchy actually holds game objects. So everything in this world is actually a game object, right? So if I give you an example, if you have played GTA 5, right? So you can see trees, cars, that is inside the game. So that is a game object, right? So majorly we can see things through the camera. Okay, so camera is actually a tool by which we can see through in the game world. So I think so that is clear. If the things whatever I taught you, all the topics, if it is not clear up until now, you can go in and ask. Otherwise, I'll continue with the editor tour, and then we'll go in and do something else, right? Then we'll go in and create the game. Is it clear to everyone? Yes or no, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. A simple help. A simple yes helps a lot, guys. Okay, so we can see this is actually nothing but a camera, right? So if I ask you a question, if I click a picture, right? Should I be in front of the camera or behind the camera? I am considering the camera does not have a front, right? So the phone does not have a front camera. So should I be in front of the phone or in the back of the phone, right? So where should I be facing if I want to take my picture?
Back of the phone.
Yeah, back of the phone, right? How many developers are needed to develop a game like PUBG, Free Fire? Okay, so that is a good question. So I'll reply that at least 10 developers are required, at least 10 developers, right? So the number goes to 100. Reason being, so there are some people who actually create the sound of the game, right? There is a team for to create different sounds. There are some people who create animation, player animations, right? Then there are some people who create 3D models. Then there are some people who code in the logic. There are some people who code in the who actually design the game. They give a high overview of how a level would look like. Why should you make some decision, like how to balance a game, which guns would have which rate of fire, right? So there are many people involved to create a triple A game. So that is called as a triple A title, PUBG and Free Fire. Okay. So PUBG is a triple A title, which means nothing but there are big studios that are creating that game, right? So I hope that answers your question. So minimum 10. So maximum is no limit. So minimum 10, even with 10, it is very hard to do that, right? So getting back to this, if you see in this world, whatever the camera sees, we can only see that, right? So if I give you an example, I'll just give you an example in a minute. But before that, I have a project view here. If you see, this is a project view. So I actually have different folders here. So the way I can create folder is just right click and click on create and then click on folder. So you can create a hierarchy of folders, right? You can name it as whatever you want, right? So I'll just name it as scripts. Today we won't write scripts, but I just for namesake name it as scripts. Then we have a console. I will actually see this console once we are going in and coding, right? So this is a project view. So we have all the game assets put up here, right? Then we have this inspector, which tell us, what is the thing that we are inspecting or seeing. If I see this main camera, okay, if I enlarge it a bit, you can see it has a transform component. So it says x0, y0, z minus 10. So it is actually the position of this main camera in the game world. Okay. So game world has its own coordinates, right? So there is a rotation to this camera, scale to this camera, right? Scale is nothing but size. So Unity is based on a component system, right? So if you see this camera, it is actually a script already written in Unity. So remember I told you in Game Engine, we already have a few things that are done for us, right? So majorly this is it. If you have to code a camera, right, you need knowledge of viewports and many more things, right? And that is actually pretty difficult to code. And this will actually take you about 15-20 days to code. At least, understanding how viewports work, then, how computer graphic work. So that is the use of game engines. They already provide you things that we need to use, right? So majorly, I hope everything is clear. So when I play this game, right? If I play this game, so this is actually the scene view where we edit the game. Okay. If I go in and play this game, what you will see, it actually, moves on to this game, right? So this is actually the game view. This is the camera view. So I'll show you what I mean by camera view in a second. But before that, we have other tools here at the top. This is actually move hand tool. We can move by using the hand tool. Then we have this, this is again move tool. This is hand tool. We can move inside the scene, here and there uh, by using this hand tool. Okay, but by using the move tool, you can actually move the camera up and down. Okay, so my question for you guys is, if I want to move the camera upwards, right, upwards, so I can do something like this. Okay, if you notice, the y coordinate is changing, right? When I'm moving actually vertically upwards, right? So my question for you, if I want to move it downwards, the camera, what do I need to write in the y here?
Minus.
Minus what? Minus 1, let's see. Yep, it actually moved down.
Anything? Minus 3,
Yeah,
minus
minus.
4.
Yeah, minus anything. So now we are clear. We can actually move the camera using these two coordinates, right? We can also use x and y to move. I can use x to move left and right, right? Okay. So we won't be talking about z right now. I'll show you how it works. So majorly, what we'll do today, we'll create a sprite. Okay. So to create a sprite is nothing but a small image, right? Right click, then click on create. Then you have to, search sprite. Then I'll click and create a simple square, right? So I have created a square. It is again a good feature of Unity. It has given you some basic sprites already. Now, if I wanted to add to the scene, so one thing I can do, drag and drop it here, right? But what I'll do is I'll drag and drop it into the hierarchy. If you see the game view here, now you can see this square comes up here, right? This square is here. So one more thing you can do, you can actually, go in and actually, change how the tabs look. Okay. So that is one more feature. You can go into the layout and change the layouts here. Okay. So I have a column view that I have been using, right? So screen might not be shared right now because I have changed the layout. So if you see, when I click on the, this layout and column, so this is a view I created for myself when I was working on a mobile game, right? So majorly, for you, you can prefer default. You can actually create new views, right? So according to yourself, you can create new views. Is there any doubt up until now? If there is any doubt, you can ask up.
ये स्प्रेड क्या किस लिए यूज होता है ये समझ नहीं आया सर.
Which thing? Sprite. You are asking about sprite. Right?
जो आपने बताया.
So if you see this, can you see this image?
Yes.
Can you see this image? It looks like a game, like game character. So this sprite is a picture, right? This is also a picture. If I move it here, right? If I go to the game, so you can see it actually came into my game. So sprites are actually used to put pictures into the game majorly, and then so that we can manipulate. So Mario was once a sprite, right? Then it was animated so that you can see create a game. Is it clear?
Okay, sir.
Yeah, awesome. So now what I'll do is, now we can see, this is actually the square. Okay. So if I move the square, right? If I move this square by, y2. So if we see in the game view, it is also moved, right? So majorly, my what I wanted to tell you, when I told you, if you are in front of a camera, so then only you can see the sprite, right? It acts like a phone camera. If you see, if I move it up here, if you keep on seeing the camera preview, right, up until I am in the -z, I can see the sprite, right? Once I move the camera, you know, ahead of it, can you see the sprite?
No.
The reason is simple. If you are taking photo and the person who is taking the photo won't be in the photo, why? Because he is not inside the range of the camera. Simple as that. Is it clear? Yes or no? That is the reason we had this Z as -10 setup. And all the images, if you see the square, Z is 0 here, right? So that is the reason why. Okay. So I think so that is clear to everyone here. If it is not clear, I can explain again. I have no problem with that. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So now we'll go back to the 2D view. So actually 2D in Unity is created inside 3D. What you do is you just look at it from the top. If you think you are looking at it from a Z perspective, right? So if I get it back to 0, right? So today what we wanted to do is very simple, right? So we want to drop, you know, like we want two things to collide, right? So if I wanted to fall, if I want physics to work on it, so what should I do? I should add physics on it. So I should write a code, right? You all will say write a code. So I don't want to write a code. So in these game engines now, we already have physics. You assimilated. If I click on add component, you can see this is an add component. So majorly if I add component to add physics, there is something called as rigid body 2D. Okay, rigid body 2D. So if I just add it up, you can see it has many properties here. It has a mass, you know, if you see carefully, it actually has a mass, right? Linear drag and angular drag, gravity scale, and many more things, right? So majorly, if I play the game, let me play the game, right? So it is actually falling through, right? If I remove this rigid body now, let me remove the rigid body. If I again play this, so there is some disturbance from someone's mic. Can you please switch off your mic? So if you see, when I played it without a rigid body, it is actually still in its place, right? No gravity is acting on it. If I click on add component, then I search rigid body 2D. If I add it, now it has physics. Okay, it is working like a real world, right? So majorly, if you see, it is keep on falling. It is keep on falling, keep on falling. Now my question for you guys is, if I add this rigid body 2D, right? So my question is, if I want to make the gravity scale opposite, it is going down right now. If I want to make it opposite, what should I do? Think and just give me a wrong answer, but give me an answer, right?
Negative gravity scale.
Yep. Yep. Speak up.
Negative gravity -1.
Okay, let's see it as -1. Okay. So if I make it -1, you will see it will go upwards, right? So this is how actually there was a game which was called Gravity Guy. If you have heard about it. So what it did was when you press a button, it just, makes your gravity 1 and -1 gravity scale. That's all, right? So I'll show you something interesting right now. Okay. So just give me a second. Yep. So what I'll do is I'll make a copy of it. So to make a copy, right click, copy, right click, paste. Okay. So I can also rename it. So I'll say square 2, right? So if you see the position is same, it is 0, 0, 0, and it is also 0, 0, 0. That means that this square is actually overlapping. So just give me a second. Q square anti-gravity, right? So if you see, this is anti-gravity square, okay? and this is gravity square. So majorly we have two square in the game, but we can only see one. Why? Because they are overlapping each other. To move it upwards, what I'll do is I'll use a move tool and move it upwards, right? So I'll move it about 1.5. Okay. Then I'll take the square and I'll again move it minus 1.5. Okay. So what I'm gonna do here, so I changed the scale by mistake. So if you change the scale, the size will, change for that object. So if I move it minus 1, okay, to minus 1.5, you can see I have moved it to minus 1.5 and this is 1.5, okay. So now if I make, it is the lower one minus 1 and the upper one as 1. If I play it up, what will happen? They both will collide and they won't ever, like go down. If you see, they are actually not colliding, they are passing through, right? But I want them to collide. So what should I do? Is there any idea what should I do with these two to make them collide, right? Anyone?
Collision detection.
Yup, collision detection. If you go in and write your own collision detection, it will take you much more time and you need much more mathematics. So again, Unity to the rescue, we have something called as, colliders. Okay, collider 2D. So this is actually a box collider I am adding. If you see, if I add a box collider, okay, you can actually go in and see there is actually, a slight green layer, right? A slight green outline. So there is again someone mic which is making some noise. Okay, cool. So if I go in, I can see that, we have a box collider 2D on this one. All right. So if I just click on it, you will be able to see an outline. Are you able to see a green outline? So this is actually nothing but a box collider, right? If you see, if I make it 0.5, you will be able to see it better. Now, are you be able to see the green line? This green line?
Yes, sir.
So majorly, if I keep it this short now, so it will actually, once it interacts, it will only collide from here, right? It won't collide from the outer edges, but I want it to collide with the whole of the box. So what I'll do is I'll make it 1 and 1, right? 1 and 1. Right now it is covering whole of the box, right? So if I show you, so now if I click on, this play, so it won't still collide. The reason is, if you want to collide, you need to have box collider on both of these. And one of them should have physics. One of them should have rigid body, right? So one of them should have a rigid body with them. So this is actually an interview question that is often asked in Unity, right? So in interview, if you will sit for Unity, they ask you, okay, what is the minimum number of components we need to get to detect a collision? So you need box collider on both of the detecting parties, right? Sorry, game objects, and then you need a rigid body on one of them. If I click play, now you will see they'll actually collide. You can see they are actually colliding, right? So if I make a simulation, interesting one, right? If I move it by, say minus 0.5, and if I move the other square, so if I keep it like this, so can you guess what will happen? Can anyone guess what will happen?
They still collide.
They still collide, but they'll all rotate, right? They'll add force and they'll rotate actually. If you see, they actually rotated, right? If we would have done this experiment in the real world, it would be something like this, right? So majorly now we know how to, simulate physics, how to have collisions, right? So we are done with this, right? So next thing, so is there any doubt up until now? Any doubts?
No.
ग्रेविटी का एक बार और बता देते सर.
Okay, gravity. If you want to add gravity, you have to do nothing but just click on add component Okay, add component, then add gen search rigid body. So rigid body, what it does, it just it is not letting me add two rigid bodies to one component. You can't add it, right? You can't add two of them, but it actually adds a rigid body here. And here, if you see, we have a gravity scale. So you can play with the gravity scale as much as you want, and this will act. This is how you can control gravity. So there are many more things that you can control. So now both of them are rotating. If I don't want them to rotate on any axis, right? About any axis, I'll freeze Z axis here. I'll again go in and freeze the Z axis here. If you see now, they won't rotate anymore. They'll be just stuck in a lock. Can you see they are stuck in the lock, right? So I can, change in things, go in and, change in things. If I want just one to rotate, I can even do that. So I have removed free, right? Freeze rotation from here. It is not rotating. There is a reason. So it is actually trying to, but it is not able to. Why? Because there is, no leverage for rotation right now. So let me give it a bit of leverage, right? So yeah, this will help it rotate. Okay. So let's see what happens. You can see one rotated, but the other one didn't, right? So this one actually rotated, the lower one, but the upper one didn't, right? Why? Because I take this freeze rotation. Okay, so getting back, we'll get back to the main topic at hand. Otherwise, we won't be able to finish. So now we are able to do this, right? So what will happen? Just imagine if I wanted to bounce, both of them to keep on bouncing, right? So I can even do that. Let me make it 0 here, and let me again make this one also 0. So there is something called as physics material. Okay. So I will be teaching you what a physics material is, but before that, what I'll do is I'll go in, right? I'll go into the sprites again. I can have multiple shapes, right? I can have fun with multiple shapes. I can create sprite, and I can even have a triangle, right? Then I can move the triangle here and do that. But just imagine, so every time I'm going in, I have to add all these components. So would it, so it will take time, yes or no? Would the development process be slow or fast if I need to do that every time?
Slow, sir.
Very slow, right? So to tackle that, what we do is we keep a copy of this inside, inside the project. That is nothing called as nothing but a prefab. So this is actually a prefab. It has all the settings I kept in this one. So if I want to make 10 boxes, I can just drag, go in and drag 10 boxes here. And it will actually create 10 boxes, right? 10 square boxes of the same one. Okay. So this is something called as prefab. We use it a lot, right? But before using this, what we'll do is today we want it to bounce, right? We want the surfaces of these squares to bounce. So what we'll do is we'll create a special thing which is called as physics material. Okay. If I right click on this, like this one, project one, I can create, and I can what I can create. Let's see, physics material 2D. Why? Because we are working on 2D, right? It says friction and bounciness. If I make bounciness as 0.5, okay, and let the friction be same, go to the square. You can see there is a small plugin for physics material. So physics material does nothing but adds bounciness to the collisions, right? It add bouncing, the property of bounce. If I play it up, right? So the way I put the physics material, I just click, drag it here and put it here. Nothing more, nothing less. If I now play it, you will see a slight bounce. Okay. Can you see the bounce now?
No, sir.
If you see carefully, they are actually, bouncing from each other. Okay, let me make them bounce more clear. So beforehand, they were actually going in and just locking. Now they are actually bouncing. Can you now see the bounce?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right? Is it looking cool, right? So we have actually simulated physics. We are having fun with this, right? So, yeah. If you want to code this now, it would actually take you time. You need to code a sine wave for this, right? But it is looking good. In my next game, I'll be using something like this, right? So I'm
Will
working
they
on that. So I'll
will
use
they
that.
keep on bounce
Yep. What?
until ये bounce होते रहेंगे क्या?
Yep, they'll always bounce. Why? Because this is how the physics is working. If you see, one is anti-gravity, right? One is trying to go up, one is trying to go down, and they are actually coming with the same force. They are actually neutralizing each other's force, but they are also have to bounce. So they bounce back to their normal positions, right? So they will keep on bouncing till infinity because I have balanced the forces in such a way. So when they go down, the energy converts, right? So energy is converting to the bounce energy. It is something like law of conservation of energy. Going up they recharge, going down they lose energy. Once they bounce they again recharge, right? So they'll keep on going, right? So let me just finish it up. Okay,
Uh,
so
Actually, they are not colliding. Like there's some space between these two boxes.
yeah, there is some space between these two boxes. The reason is the collider is not perfect, right? So this collider should be like zero point 0.9 and something like zero point 0.9. If you see now it is actually perfect, right? So if I make it say 1.5, you will be able to see something interesting, and 1.5. So now you can see if I try to collide it now, it won't collide from the edge, right? It is actually colliding from this green edge. So what we want to do is, this is why the collider is there, right? So you need to make it the same size as of sprite. Okay, so if I make it 2, it would be much more clearer to you now. 2, you might now be able to see the difference what I'm talking about, right? If you see, they aren't colliding anymore, right? Are you able to see it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so that is how collision works, right?
अगर हम
So
इसको negative करते हैं तो
negative, I think so it shouldn't work. -1, if I make it, it says, uh, if you study this, it is not letting me make it -1. Why? Because you can't have anything that doesn't, that inversely exist, right? So it is not antimatter shit. Okay, here, if you think about it. So it doesn't exist. Are you getting me? There should be some size, guys. Okay. So majorly this is it. Okay. So now we'll go on, and if I want to do something else, right? So just imagine I want to, make the gravity. Okay, let me remove this component here. Okay. Okay, I'll remove the component for this square. Okay. This square here. Remove component. Okay. So I removed the like physics. So majorly, I removed the wrong component here. Okay. So let me get it back. Let me get that back. Which was nothing but box collider. So I removed the wrong component. Give me a second. Then I'll again need to put in here. So what I'll do is, if I click on this, right? Click on this and remove this up. Then too we can have a collision between the two. Reason is the other one has this rigid body 2D. So if I move, just play it up, you will see that it collides and bounces, right? It is bouncing here. Okay. So if I show you I created something, if you remember. So there was a scene I created, right? This tasty scene. So I need to also save the scene. Once I'm going from one scene to other, I'll save it up. if you see this, if you see this scene, right? So can you understand how must I have created this? Can you reverse engineer? How did I create this scene? Can you think on the lines? Just raise your hands and let me know. Yep, Rahul, speak up.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Rahul.
You use gravity,
Mm-hmm.
and use three parts. Uh, that two boxes and one line.
Okay.
So, uh, okay, sir.
Okay, so what I want you guys is to replicate this all. You'll get videos of this. I want you to replicate this all and try to replicate the behavior I'm doing here. Okay. So majorly I just change. If you see, there is rigid body, there is box collider. So no need to put a tail renderer. I was actually testing something out. That is why I put it up here. You don't need that. But you need to, if you see the scale is 0.5 and 1.5. So it actually became a rectangle from a square, right? So you need to change the scale to make it a rectangle, right? And then I just added these two boxes on which it will bounce, right? I added one more thing, right? One more thing in it, in here, right? I wanted to change the color and I changed the color, right? So there is a way to change the color for this. So that is pretty simple. If I go into the wall, you see sprite renderer, click on this button, right? Picker tool, click on this, and then you can, go in and change the colors. You can have any color you want, right? So if I want this color, I can have it. And if I go in and if I play, right? So you can see this is the color. This is now a blue color, right? So majorly what I want you to do is replicate this scene as a homework, okay? And then what would you do with the replicated scene? Go on to LinkedIn, find my name. My name is Shobham Behel, right? Tag Outscale, I'll see it. You can tag me, you can tag Mayank, you can tag Satnam, you can tag anyone and just try to replicate whatever you have learn, try to do it. So if you have any question, I welcome all your doubts right now. Okay. So just ask. So someone asked if we want to move left and right. So that is the question I'll ask you now. Okay. So how can we move left and right? Let me load up the scene that I created today so that I can teach you how can we go left and right. Okay. Yes. Yes. What's the answer? How can I go left and right?
I think scale use करेंगे sir.
What?
Position और scale को change करेंगे शायद.
Yep, if you want to move left and right, you will just change the position. If I make it -1, you can see it is actually going towards left, right? So it is, if I move it to -5, say, okay, it actually moves -5 here. If I move it to +5, it moves here. If I move it back to 0, I can do that. So you need to change X to move left and right. If you want to go up and down, you need to change this Y. Okay. So that is one thing. Other than that, you change the scale to make it bigger. I change the X. Okay, so it grew on the X axis, right? If I change it to 1, if I change the Y here, you can say if I change it to 10, you can see it grew on the X axis, right? It became really big. I can change both of them, right? It actually become a really big platform and a box. So this is how we do things. So I think so everything should be clear up until now. If you have any question, you can ask me. Any questions? or otherwise I'll just top it up.
क्वेश्चन तो सर करके पता चलेगा जब इसे खुद से करेंगे तो
Yep, I know
तो
that. I know that. That's true. So
Sir,
then you can just one more second. Then you can just join in, this Discord community. If you see this, so I am almost active here every day. You can see Mayank is active, right? Piyush is active. So Piyush is actually our marketing, guy. He's actually like many things. Like he is doing many things, right? He is also a content creator, if I say. Okay, so majorly, if you see, there are many channels. You might not be able to see all of them, but if I show it to you, just give me a second. So we have a channel which is called Unity Basics. So you can go here in Unity Basics. You can see these are some of our students. You can connect with them, ask their experience if you want to. But most of all, you can ask your doubts. And we usually solve these doubts. Okay, or otherwise we tell them to try to solve this up. So Arindam, this is a student. I told him to solve a doubt. Right? I told him to go on, Chrome and write something that I knew is the answer. Why? Because if I teach you, you will forget. If you learn it yourself, you will remember for life, right? So that's majorly it. Now you can ask the question.
hello, sir.
हाँ बोलो बोलो.
Sir, uh, I want to ask what is the total syllabus of this course and
Okay, so the course is actually divided up in 4 modules majorly. First is the 2D project where you actually create, a 2D platformer game in like it takes about 3 weeks. Okay, then you have a 3D project, then you have, data structures, then you have a multiplayer project. Majorly all these 4 things, right? And you will have a lot of projects in there. So we basically teach while you create projects, right? Like it is a project based learning entirely, right? We don't give you, like theory and say, okay, now you have read the theory, make something. No, project. Okay,
okay,
why?
sir.
Because project, if you create projects, you'll know the theory, right? You can derive the theory out of your practicals. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Next.
you are saying next week is a workshop. Then when will we start learning C++?
Yep. So right now I am teaching you Unity for the 3 sessions. After these 3 sessions, you can actually connect up with Satnam ji and he'll actually let you know about the C++ session as well. I won't be taking those. Those would be taken up by some other mentor. So majorly I can actually take those, but we have a specialist in C++. That guy would be much better suited for that job, right?
Okay. Sir,
Any other questions? हाँ पूछो पूछो.
sir, I want to ask, so what is a game studio? Means we don't know about that game studio. You said in
What is your exact question? So game studio is,
सर
yeah.
मतलब गेम स्टूडियो क्या होता है सर हमें
So
पता ही नहीं
okay,
है आप
game
बोले तो
studio is a place where you create games. Simple as that. Okay.
मीन्स
Means you have art studio where there are many painters. They are painting and creating art. You have game studio. There are many programmers. They team up and create games. Simple as that. Any more questions?
So for the next 3 days, you are going to teach us about Unity.
Not next 3 days. So today is one class.
2 days.
So we give you one day to revise it up and do it yourself. Then today is what? Thursday. Next is Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday, and then Sunday is again off. So Monday, right?
Okay. And after 3 days, Satnam sir will take class, right?
No, he won't take class. He doesn't take classes majorly, right? So we have other mentors. So he won't be taking classes, but there would be new announcement, and you can sync up with Satnamji for the class schedule, right?
Okay, sir.
Yep. Any more question, guys? So let me share the Discord link. The reason is you will only get like the recordings of this session on majorly on Discord, right? So that is where the whole value is. So you can also find me there almost every day. I'm sitting there and having conversation with the students, right? So what are they working on? If they are facing problems, I'm helping them out. So you can also come in. I invite you to do that and you can ask me problems, right? I have no problem with that. Okay. You can even ask our student these problems. So they are actually done with Unity, most of them. So they'll be able to, guide you through in a really great way. So other than that, any more doubts or shall I finish this up? You
Yeah,
guys,
yeah. So, do we have any homework
yeah, I
today?
just gave you the homework. So you have to copy what I made, right? So I made this, right, Infinity one, but what you have to do, so I created a scene earlier, right? So what you have to do, you have to create this scene, something like this, okay? So there is, the game object dropping on it, bouncing off it, and bouncing to the next one, right? So you can add a few, like you can add, there are many surfaces that you are bouncing off on. So you can make a game like that. No problem, just make a game, small game in which the, game object is bouncing like this. Okay.
Okay. So after making this, so where should I have to send and
Make a video of it, post it on LinkedIn, and then tag me. Write my name. Just send me, connection request on LinkedIn, and I'll accept it. Then you can, share it with me, and you can also tag Outscared, right?
uh, and one more question, sir. Actually, I have downloaded 2020. So can I make this program
You
on
can
2020
okay,
from?
you can actually go in and add the other version. Okay, 2020 don't use it, use 2019 LTS. Okay,
Okay.
because the reason is there was a student we had, so he was also using 2020. So there was a bug, so I was trying to troubleshoot the problems. So what we found is that version was actually the reason for that bug. We searched it on internet, so the collisions weren't working fine. So there was some kind of bug there. So they actually announced it is a bug in this version. So what I say is use LTS. Okay, don't use the other one.
Okay.
Okay, someone is saying please provide the scene to us. So Satya Prakash, in the next, next one, next class, I'll show you how to create it. I'll show you the solution. And once you download Unity, you can, create the solution with me. Then what we'll do is we'll just, create a animation. So in the next class, if you want to see what I'll be doing is, okay, so let me show you what I'll be doing. So we'll actually doing something like this. We'll making an ideal animation, right? So this is a game character, and we'll making an ideal animation for her, right? And she'll be standing on top of some platform, and we'll write our first code in the next session. Okay, so that's majorly it. So that's all for today. Any more doubts? If there are any more doubts, I'll be happy to take that. Or otherwise I'll just bounce off.
Can we install Unity mm, on Linux by following your steps?
Can you please repeat? I didn't get the question. So, are you asking, can you use it on Linux, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can use it on Linux. But I'll say Unity is not that stable on Linux, but you still can use it on Linux. So for this application, it will work fine. Okay. So other than that, any other questions?
Yeah, actually, I was saying that I have installed in MacBook Pro, and you said that you have you need to do an extra. So I didn't get that.
You need to do an extra what?
हाँ, you are saying आप ये कह रहे थे कि आपको एक काम और करना पड़ेगा. मैंने कहा था कि क्या ये MacBook Pro में भी चल सकता है, कि तो आप कह रहे थे कि आपको एक काम और करना पड़ेगा. वो
Yeah,
तो
it works on MacBook Pro. So I must be saying for something else. Okay. So if sometimes what happen in Mac OS is, so Unity is actually pretty much, like compatible with all the version of Mac OS, but there are some versions of Mac OS it is not compatible with. So if you are downloading it, just check it up. Okay. Just check up your Mac OS version. Write on Google, is my Mac OS version compatible with this version of Unity? Is it latest one?
yes.
Yes,
This is,
yeah. So no tension. I think it would work then. So have
yeah,
fun.
it's working, sir. Even the software is preferring 2019 version to me.
Yeah, just have fun with that. No problem.
Apart from I downloaded 2020.
Yeah, no problem. Experiment with 2020. It has the dark theme, right? But majorly, I'll just say, go
Yeah,
in
yeah,
and
just,
use the LTS. Okay.
okay.
So that's all, guys. I'll just finish up this class. Have a nice day. Take care. And Happy New Year to all of you, because this is the first class I have been taking for this year. So Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Yup, you're welcome, guys.